This morning to tell us more about Sail Time Portland. Cora, tell us about it.
Yeah, Sail Time Portland, Ken. This is a really neat asset sharing program, similar in some ways to the Uber and the Lyfts of the world here. By the way, it is National Boating and Fishing Week, which is a great excuse to get out on the outdoors, get a fishing line in the water, or simply just to get out on the water and enjoy nature, the sunshine, the cool breeze blowing off of the water. But this Sail Time thing is a great idea for folks who aspire to become sailors at a fraction of the cost of owning a sailboat.
So nice big cockpit there.
Imagine taking the helm of this almost brand new 38-foot Oceana sailboat with a boatload of friends or family for as little as $199 a month. In Portland, it's now possible through the new asset sharing service called Sail Time, making sailing affordable for both new and experienced sailors.
I think it's the most brilliant thing to happen in the boating industry in a very long time. The concept makes sense for everybody, honestly.
Its genius is in its simplicity. For as little as $195 a month, you'll be buying time on a sailboat someone else owns. Sail Time makes sure you're first trained in how to properly operate the boat. You can have no sailing experience, some sailing experience, or be an accomplished sailor who wants access to a boat but doesn't want the hassles of outright ownership.
It's the perfect way to get out of the house. It's the perfect time of the year to get out of the house, but people are wanting to do that within the realm of still socially distancing.
It's an international company, so with an upgraded membership, you can even plan a sailboat vacation in any part of the world that Sail Time operates in. It's a concept that is just right for the times we're living in. Right, and part of that membership that goes along with that is a lot of training in terms of how to be a sailor, what to look for, how to operate the boat safely and effectively without damaging it or without getting into any sort of trouble. And Ken, the other good part of the Sail Time program is that most of these sailboats are fairly new. I mean, brand new, less than a year old boats there. So when you get out onto the waterway, after getting a thorough session of training on how to be a sailor, the maintenance issues of those boats are not likely to be an issue for people who are renting them out there. So this is the latest in these asset sharing programs. I mentioned Lyft, Uber. It's the same sort of a business model there where you get to enjoy the luxury of operating a sailboat without having to own it outright and all the expenses that entails as well.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I would be one of those people who would love to do it, but I would need a lot of training. I'm not really a sailor.
Yes. Yeah, it comes with all of that. They are a certified, part of that membership comes with a real certified, thorough, and rigorous training on how to operate a boat, how to navigate through the waterways, and all the rest of that stuff. So if you go through this program, you won't, you'll be vetted enough to be able to operate the thing pretty effectively.
It'll be okay. All right. Thank you very much, Corey.